Achtung, Achtung, hier ist Alex Wright, and you are listening to Chat, Grapple, and Cheat Pops with JB and Chris Dredd. Enjoy it, or I come over and kick your ass.
Hey, what is up, friends and family? It is 2023, and welcome to Chat, Grapple, and Cheat Pops with me, JB, and Mr. No Hats, No Trainers himself, the Raz Prince of the wrestling podcast world, Mr. Chris Dredd. How are you, Chris?
Trust me. Expect the unexpected. You know what I'm saying? Expect the unexpected. It's Raz Prince all up in your place, all up in your face, nose go up in your brain and shit. Yeah, man.
I knew this would get him going. I didn't tell him what I was going to do.
Yes, bro. Oh, they don't exist. No, I'm joking. Yeah, bro, you get me gassed up on a Raz Prince thing, you know what I mean? I'll be singing Gold in a minute, like.
Oh no.
Yeah, man, all good. 2023, bro. It's mad. Like the years. It only seems like yesterday, like that we were, 2002, 2003, or whatever.
Glory days,
you know
man.
I mean?
Glory days.
Glory days. You know,
Yeah.
I was 20-something, carefree individual. And now I have a receding hairline, grey hairs in my beard, and other extremities. Yeah, but we're here and we're talking about wrestling. And
we are. But before we do,
before
we talk about wrestling, it's the turn of the year. Surely it's time for you to renew your VPN.
Absolutely. Rick would agree. Yeah.
Rick agrees.
Rick agrees.
So with Surfshark VPN, you know the deal by now. If chances are you're not a new listener here. So we'll do it quickly. 83%.
83% off and 3 months free. Do you know what I mean?
Not 4, 3.
Not 4, but
the
3
horsemen.
That's right.
Yeah. And that comes with antivirus and all of those things. So smash the link in the descriptions of anything you see, anywhere you're watching this or listening to this. We've also got to shout out the good people of Ireland.
Again, bruv, they,
Ireland,
put my hood back on.
Yeah, in a way, you kind of make me sick that you keep us in these charts. What the hell is wrong with you people? We should have been dusted out of the top 250 of all the charts. We haven't been on for ages, but for some reason, even this week, we went up 3 places.
People digging into the back catalogue, bruv. They're digging deep into the archives, you know what I mean? Which we appreciate.
Ireland, you are strange. Ireland, you are wonderful. We cannot thank you enough for keeping us somewhat relevant.
Well, if you think about it, in preparation for this episode, I was looking through the past interviews and reviews we've done this year. We actually, within the last year, we interviewed Max Payne. Who else did we have on? We almost, I think a year ago we had on Eric Watts.
Yeah, Billy Barty.
Billy Barty.
Our most recent interview with Jasmine Sinclair, we had Brian R. Solomon, Keith Elliott Greenberg, some really cool names.
And the referee from WrestleMania 25.
Was that
Mr. Elias?
Was that in the last year?
Yeah, bro, 8 months ago. That's what I'm saying. Like,
nah.
Yeah.
Marty Elias was that? No, surely not.
Yeah, 8 months ago. I checked it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's fucking mad, bro. And that
if we get a chance, we'll check in with Marty.
Yeah, because Marty's a good guy, man. Marty's a good guy.
So, let's talk. I know today is what, Wednesday the 4th of January. And
yeah,
this morning, in the UK anyway, we had Wrestle Kingdom 17. New Japan's flagship show. I suppose it is the most relevant thing to talk about. It was an all right show. It was okay. Was it the 8-star masterpiece that
Wankfest.
people have been talking about? No, it wasn't. It was a good match. It was a very good match. You know, Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega do their thing. It's a match that has apparently been a dream match for a couple of years. Fine. It's a really good match. Go and seek it out if you have to or if you want to. But, you know, for people to say that every near fall, you know, meant something, like, give me a break. Come on. Don't ruin it. That's what ruins it for me.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah. There you go.
Because people, do you know what I mean? I haven't, so George has watched it. I have not watched it. I will be watching it tomorrow evening when I'm doing a few bits and bobs. So I do want to watch it, but I have seen the aftermath. I have seen results. Are we giving spoilers? We can give spoilers, can't we? Fucking
do what you want. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, if I'm honest, I wasn't surprised that FTR lost the IWGP titles.
We're not really sure with the situation with FTR. You know, again, a decent match. You know, they lost their titles. Another set of titles they've lost. They've put over more people, like, in 2023.
But that's why I think they lost it, because New Japan are probably seeing the way they're getting dealt in AEW, and they're like, we don't want our champions, you know, getting.
It could be that. It could be that there's a contract situation that could end up with them, you know,
possibly
heading back north.
Yeah.
You know, it could be, it could be many things, you know. Let's dig deeper. Mercedes Moné. And I have to say it like that because that's the only way to say it. Moné. She made her debut. It wasn't really a surprise. Everyone knew where she was. She turned up at the end of Kairi Sane's successful title defense, which lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, for New Japan to make such a big deal of having a women's match on the show and all that, like, they gave it 5 minutes. Don't get me wrong, Kairi Sane, awesome insane elbow, great.
Oh, another company does that, bro.
Yeah.
They make a big deal of the women's division and then give Mercedes, them 10 minutes.
She came out, Sasha Banks, for those uninitiated. She comes out, she hits Kairi with an awful move that can only be seen to be believed. Yeah, it's whatever was in her head, it obviously played out much differently. And then she cuts this long dry promo, and it's like, I'm done already. Like, it's cool. Like, I don't need to hear it. Maybe because the crowd it's obviously a Japanese speaking crowd, so they're like, cool, let us speak, but we'll just listen intently.
Yeah.
I feel for Mercedes in this one because she does command a lot of money wherever she's going to go, to Japan or whatever. But then what happens when that shine wears off, when they don't pull massive crowds like she's probably expecting, and she has to come back to America, and the only one waiting at the airport is Mr. Khan, and he says, you've got to wrestle some of our people now. You know, she should go running, screaming for the hills, because, you know, her first match could end up with against Miss You Don't Know Me. It's a frightening prospect.
Yeah. I mean, for someone who, and let's be honest, for someone who, despite what people think of her, right, Sasha Banks was, for a long time, she was there, bruv. She was the pinnacle of. She was putting on, you know, great matches with Bayley. You know, she was putting on fantastic shows. She was the pinnacle.
Main evented, you know, a night of WrestleMania, or main event, you know, WrestleMania in itself.
You know, she and
maybe she had peaked at that point, like in WWE. Maybe that was it. Like,
her
nowhere else to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, her ego seems to have. Cheers. Cheers, dude. Man's knocking back the peach M&S juice, fam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, peach iced tea. What a drink.
You know, her ego seems to have got the better of her. It seems. I don't know who's been in her ear. I don't know what the situation. We don't know what the situation was. I would have expected that Naomi and Sasha would have been back in WWE already. To be honest, I would have expected that Triple H probably would have just said, "Come on, fucking, you know what I mean? You've had your fun, yeah, fucking."
Well, here's the terrible side of it all is that Naomi walked out too. Naomi isn't worth as much as Sasha.
No,
and the stories are going around that Naomi's going to have to go back.
Yeah, but to be honest, you know, Sasha in a way was probably in Naomi's ear, saying, "Oh, no, come on, let's fucking." But like I say, her stock wasn't quite at the level of, you know.
I mean, for Naomi to go back, which is possible, it is being reported. It doesn't mean a thing these days. But
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
It could be a massive positive. She could be like, massive point to prove. Let's go for it. Let's, cards on the table. Hell, even join the bloodline. Do what you got to do. But
I would say that would be a good shout. She's already an honorary Oos. You know what I mean? She's already got some. She's already got an Oos in her. She's definitely been in contact with her inner Oos. So yeah, I mean, I'm to be honest, I hoped that Sasha would be back in WWE because that's where she needs to be. For her to go to AEW, I'm hoping she's watched and seen. Let's be honest though, if she was going to go to AEW, she would have already been there.
Well, no, the contract. I think the contract, I'm almost certain it ran out the last day or two.
I don't know, man. I think she's been out of WWE for a long time.
Yeah, but contractually, she couldn't do anything for any other company.
Right. I mean,
so I think that no compete or whatever must have run out in the last few days.
She would be a fucking idiot to go to AEW. She'd be a fucking fool because her stock would. Who's she going to wrestle there, bro?
You get the boost, and then.
I mean,
for those that are listening, that's a downhill slide.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you get the boost. You get hot shotted for a
Saraya got the boost. Now what?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And that's the most recent one. I'm just jumping to the last one I remember.
Yeah.
Because before that, there's so many more. There's Ruby. There's Athena. There's who else? Come on, help me out here.
But Athena's resorted to beating up jobbers, to get that heat or whatever. And I liked Athena. Don't get me wrong. I thought, she can work and all that, but AEW does not. And this again, it will sound like a broken record, repeating the same shit over and over again. AEW does not have the infrastructure to support the delusions of grandeur that they have in pushing every cunt and their uncle that they've got going in there. They can only have they've only got so much airtime. They can only push one person at a time, really. And you who was brought there on a promise of, you're going to get this, you're going to get that, you're going to get this. Ruby, like you say, Athena was brought there. Saraya was brought there. There ain't, and also you've got Britt Baker still there. You've got
Britt's probably got some assurances she's going to get a title run or push back into the picture. Who's the champion now? Jamie Hayter and Jade Cargill. Yeah.
Great. Don't get me started on fucking Jade Cargill. She looks.
It's another year, isn't it?
She looks $1 million, but she can't sell. She can't work really. There was a meme that I saw earlier of her after she got kicked in the face selling, and it's like, fucking come on, bruv. You've had enough time. Again, this is another thing. We've had the conversation. She's had enough time.
We had this conversation last year.
Yeah, we literally, she could have been improved. She's had She's had 2 good years that she could have been improving match on match. But it's like she ain't been working. She's too busy turning up in places in Lycra. Just fucking get in the ring, love. Get in the ring. But the thing is, the people in charge should be saying, it's not good enough. You're not good enough. Not just fucking slapping their meat, going, yeah, you're fucking fantastic.
But let's be honest, no one's drawing.
No one's drawing, bro.
No one's drawing.
No one's
And when people used to take the mix saying couldn't draw a dime, couldn't draw flies if they were on shit, all that stuff. AEW is sort of proving that they're not drawing, the big money. They're not even drawing big crowds anymore. That's dwindling. They're not drawing numbers on TV. The only show that seems to be drawing any numbers on TV is SmackDown. So let's not get twisted. This isn't a WWE thing. Raw is, dwindling too. It's not in a healthy position. SmackDown is the only one. And they just, whatever SmackDown seem to do, they just keep getting it right. Because something we were talking about earlier today, it's not me and Chris, other people, we were talking about football, and football is another thing for us. We're on that North London divide. It's a thing.
Yeah, I was going to say we're not talking about football at the moment, especially fucking hell, Tottenham, you bunch of wankers. So yeah, they're drawing 0-0 against Crystal Palace.
Okay,
yeah.
So we were talking about the times to upgrade and do things to your teams and make them better, and Sir Alex Ferguson, one of the greatest managers of the Premier League era,
without doubt,
always made that choice to add to his teams and to use the resources to make his teams better when they were flying at the top, because they were the greatest team of the Premier League era. And he would always try and get better players, to maintain that level. SmackDown is something that is doing that in a way, bringing, already being the biggest numbers, you're already having that. Bringing in John Cena, just, smashing through, bigger numbers and bigger ratings and all that. Like, it's such an easy win. Everyone else is playing catch up. Whoever's writing Raw is playing catch up. We know who's writing AEW is playing catch up. NXT the same. It's just they're not improving to make someone say, I'm going to give that a go again. I'm going to start watching that again.
Yeah.
And the same thing, like, you could have put Ospreay and Omega on Forbidden Door. You didn't. You let New Japan do it.
Yeah.
It's clumsy. And as much as, Omega and Ospreay don't exactly butter our parsnips, they butter a lot of others.
They do. They do. And I mean,
I think that might have pulled a number.
It would have. Oh, for sure. With the demographic of AEW, Omega Ospreay on one of their shows. But I mean, bro, they dropped the ball massively with Forbidden Door.
Yeah,
they fucked up hugely. Whoever put that shit together, and we kind of know who. They fucked up majorly on that shit. But it's not the first bollock to be dropped.
No.
And it won't be the last.
2022 was a long year.
Oh man, in wrestling it was fucking like this. Up and down. It's fucking.
We haven't even got to the point where Cody jumped ship.
No.
And like that was, and we spoke about this ourselves. Not on my bingo card for 2022, and that is one of them. Cody, making a return, a triumphant monster return to the WWE at WrestleMania, being one of the biggest names on the show. Like, fuck, man, that went well.
I went to Cornwall, right? Stayed in a caravan with my missus and my boy and that. So it was over when WrestleMania was on, and obviously I got the network. So we got there and that, settled in and all that. And I knew Cody was gonna, everyone kind of knew, wasn't it? Who it was gonna, that Cody was gonna be there, but it was still kind of, and then, but that moment when Seth has been fucking one of the MVPs, bruv, for this year.
Yeah,
like Seth has been just knocking them out the park, bruv. The match he had at Clash at the Castle was just fucking fantastic, bro. When we were watching it there live, but when you watch it on the network and you watch that match, it's fucking fantastic. But that pop at Mania, I was watching it with my boy and that, you know, and even, do you know what? He really liked the first match. I think it was Bianca Belair match. I think that was the first match of WrestleMania, was it?
Oh wow, WrestleMania! I'm trying to think what night one. God,
Yeah,
no.
I think it
That's
might
how.
have been.
Yeah,
But
we're going back, and I can't.
yeah,
Can't
but
think
yeah,
of it.
he really liked that. But like I say, I really enjoyed Cody, the whole thing. So I mean, what are we gonna do? We're gonna like work down. Excuse me, work
No, you
down
just
like a list
you
of
pick
shit.
whatever you fancy. This is 20. This is our. We're just saying hi, like,
We're literally
and we're
just saying
chatting
hi,
shit.
getting people warmed up. So with the not on my bingo card of 2022, it could be seen as a negative thing, just like, oh shit, we weren't expecting that, and that was fucking terrible. So one of those for me was, and I hate to say it, brother, but I will hold my hand up and I will hold my Ric Flair glass. It was Ric Flair's last match, bruv.
Ooh.
I knew it wouldn't be flipping, flopping Ric Flair. Do you know what I'm saying? We knew it wasn't going to be
Not one super kick.
No,
There might have been. I can't remember now.
We didn't know. You know, we knew it wasn't going to be the classic Ric Flair. The guy fucking near enough died, and you know, he had no business being in the fucking ring anyway, really. But we love Ric Flair. Everyone said, "Yeah, fucking, this is going to be great." You know, Jarrett and Lethal and all this kind of, you know, Jarrett still working in AEW is fucking unreal.
We'll get to Jarrett in a minute, but
Oh
we'll get to the Jarretts in a minute.
Bro, because I've seen AEW fans online talking some fucking nonsense about this shit. Oh, good lord. But yeah, Ric Flair's last match, we knew it wouldn't be what we expected from Rick. We knew it would be different, but when I watched it, I was not just disappointed. I was like upset. Do you know what I mean? I was like, fucking hell.
I mean, I saw Ric Flair's retirement match in 08 live. I
Bro,
feel shortchanged every time he gets in the ring.
Mate, I can still see you and Matt. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. I can still see it on the DVD, bro. I've watched it a million times of you fuckers. You know, and like you say, that was 2008, and that he was supposed to have retired. And you know, there was no need for him to do that. Ric Flair's last match, there really wasn't.
You got to wonder, and this is a little shot at Conrad, because Conrad feeds that shit. And something else that Conrad feeds, because I'm going to skip off of Ric Flair for a minute,
okay,
is Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
And Jeff Jarrett is still working in the full-time wrestling promotion and all that stuff. Like,
he's challenging for titles.
Now, after Max Caster's little rap, Karen Jarrett is now involved. Karen made some sordid suggestions about Kurt on Twitter this week, saying he was sleeping around at like 12 years ago or whatever, and named names, which is, you know, it's an interesting game when you start naming names.
Yeah, but it's a shoot, kid.
Yeah. She dropped Dawn Marie, Kelly, like,
yeah.
I mean, Kelly came out straight away and said, this ain't true. Like, I think she was, I don't know, but, you know, Jeff has now gone on his own podcast, hosted by Conrad, and said, you know, he's almost willing to dish out receipts on Max. You know, what is he going to do it Wednesday? Or tonight even? Is it Dynamite tonight? Yeah, of course it is. Is he looking, you know, he's saying that it's not, you know, part of the story, this, that, and the other. If you're Tony Khan, what do you do? Because you've got a tag team title match on the show. Do you keep them apart? Do you go, you know what? There's a little bit too much friction here. Everyone needs to call off, make their apologies, and we'll have the actual match on pay-per-view.
Well, yes, if they're gonna, but again, it's this fucking the same shit where Is it like a work shoot? Is it like
Unnecessary? Yeah.
at the end of the day, you got. I looked at this situation and it again, it pissed me off because, okay, the first domino that got pushed and started this whole situation. Is it legit? Is it a shoot or whatever? We know Kurt Angle is not affiliated whatsoever with AEW. Can we safely assume that?
Yeah.
We can safely assume that Kurt was not privy to any of this that was going to get said.
Not the rap, yeah.
Not the rap. He would have had no idea. He wouldn't have been able to give the okay to it, right? So you have Max Caster saying something along the lines of something that Jeff was what was it? Cheating on.
I can't remember the line, to be fair.
It was basically something.
Up,
yeah, right? It was basically mentioning Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
and then Kurt Angle seemingly has got pissed off with it and said, "You need to fucking drop my name." 12 years later, you need to drop my name to get heat, right? But then Karen has come out and said some other shit like, "Oh, it wasn't me cheating, Kurt was cheating," and all this kind of shit, and it's turned into this fucking snowball of bullshit. But but then she said, when she was talking to Kurt, it wasn't because of something that was said on Twitter. It was something that was done in real life. He's apparently called her and said some shit. So we can, this is speculation. Kurt's seen that this has been said, got pissed off, rung Karen up and Jeff and gone, "What the fuck are you allowing? Do you get what I'm saying?" Like,
yeah, don't bring me into this feud. I'm not on your TV show.
Yeah, don't bring me in part of this TV show. I'm fuck all to do with that shit. Fucking leave me out of it, right?
Can we just stop for a second and just go, why the hell is Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett a thing in 2023?
Mate,
it disappoints me.
But again, it's AEW was supposed to be this fucking oasis for young talent to thrive and survive, and the wrestling business. They were supposed to be given, But again, who's just won the fucking trios championships, bruv?
I don't know. Did they win it?
I believe it was gone to 7 matches, and the Bucks are fucking.
Oh, I don't know, mate.
It's
Christmas period was a bit, all over the place. I didn't catch up with everything.
I didn't either, but I saw something. I'm
balls deep in it again now. So
yeah, but who needs to see 7 trios matches of fucking the Death Triangle versus the Young Bucks and fucking Omega?
It shows a lack of creativity.
It's lazy booking,
and it also shows that someone was watching WCW in '98.
It's fucking terrible.
Because the only best of 7 that was worth anything was Benoit and Booker T.
Yes, but again, who's on the executive vice presidents, bruv? The fucking Bucks and Kenny Omega, and they're booking themselves after this whole after the fucking AEW All Out fiasco, and then being seemingly suspended, and CM Punk being cast into the fucking wilderness.
Yeah, he's out there.
And now they're booking themselves in. The first thing they do when they come back, fucking to the Carry On My Wayward Son and all this fucking shit. That constantly mocking the whole situation with the CM Punk, childish, biting. The thing and fucking up the buckshot lariat and all this kind of shit. Mockery. These people are fucking children, bruv, and they're supposed to be in charge of a company.
But that small but loud group of marks will cheer every last piece. So you take it for what it is. Oh, excuse me. Take it for what it is. It is children. It is, and CM Punk was right. He's working with children. But
they're proving it.
Like I said, there is a very small but very loud minority of wrestling fans that lap that shit up, and every week you will see them clap along and sing "This is awesome" to someone doing a flip, thigh slaps, botched moves, all the good stuff that you love to laugh at.
Well, it's too much. It's too much for me, bruv. I'm at the point where I'm like, this whole shit with Karen Jarrett and Kurt Angle and the AEW fans going online saying, the thing that's going on Twitter about this whole thing, it wasn't about the Acclaimed, because Karen said it was about something that Kurt did on the phone. It's like, well, can you not put two and two together and say that Kurt was blatantly ringing her up saying, why are you getting me involved in this fucking shit? This is bullshit. Unprofessional bullshit.
I have another one for the bingo card.
Go for it.
And this is another disappointing one. I did not expect to see Big William, whatever you want to call him, Big Cass,
bro,
turning tail and running from Hook.
You're reading my fucking goddamn mind. Listen.
7 foot tall, beast of a man in wonderful shape. Might be on the cycle. Who knows?
Bro,
but yeah.
This guy
he is a monster. You do not have him run away from anyone.
Look at this guy. Look at him, right?
What they call him now? Big Will or Big Willie or something.
He's like, la 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 la, Big Willie style. This guy, okay, is a fucking behemoth. Okay, he can be booked strong. Impact Wrestling
showed that. Impact showed it.
AEW are just, they're complete fucking. The word like nincompoops, bruv. You get me? Like they're fucking idiots, bruv. They can't. Idiot? How can you have a guy that big, that strong, being booked in Impact Wrestling, taking people out, booting people in the face, picking up two people, throwing them over the fucking ropes? That's how you book a big man, bruv. You do not have him running out of the ring and ducking out like a fucking pussyhole
from Hook.
From Hook, bruv. He would be paintbrushing Hook in real life. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking schmuck.
Again, it was so bad, and you only have to look at what they did for him in Impact. He had like matches where and you've got enough on the roster.
There's enough
trainees to take some choke slams, take some boots to the face. It's good for them because it means they get some experience out of it. Like even if it's a 90-second squash. But I don't understand it. You just don't have a 7 foot tall monster like him running scared from little guys.
You don't. We have had this conversation about Hook and what he was allowed to be like, no selling and like taking on big guys and fucking, twisting them up and stretching them out and all that. And it's like, this is not whatever you want to, people go, oh, wrestling, we know it's not real and all this kind of stuff. It's like, okay, so what is the point of wrestling if you're not even going to suspend your disbelief to the point of
it becomes hokey, and I don't enjoy hokey. Something that probably should have been hokey, but I laughed my ass off at and thought, you know what, I'll take it. And this will lead on to something else, because Wee Man body slamming Sami Zayn,
amazing.
As great as that is, it just shows you what a wonderful year Sami Zayn has had on TV. Incredible.
Yeah.
From the whole thing with Johnny Knoxville, which started like from before the Royal Rumble, went through to WrestleMania. They had like the old school sort of hardcore match from like the 2000s, which was kept interesting, mousetraps and all. And then he felt a little loosey.
He has been knocking it out the park.
Yeah.
For, but you see, this is the difference, right? people ain't gonna like this, bro. People are not gonna like this take, right?
Okay.
So for anyone listening, sit back, all right, relax, and just hear me out for 1 second, okay? One thing that was not on my bingo cards wasn't I knew that, you know, I think we all knew that Tony Khan was looking to do something with Ring of Honor. What we didn't know was how much he was going to get his pants pulled down over the price of it, right? So he's bought Ring of Honor. The people that built Ring of Honor, started their careers in Ring of Honor, are your Kevin Owenses,
Yeah.
your Sami Zayns, yeah, even to a point, you know, your Brian Daniels,
AJ's, Brian Danielson's, your low keys, your Samoa Joes,
yeah,
you know, the core, you know, Xavier, I know, God rest his soul, he passed on, but like those people, you know, Homicide, all of those names, incredible names that were that core group of Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And it's
and you see what AEW are doing with the people that they have from Ring of Honor, then you see what WWE have done with the people that they had from Ring of Honor, even to a point where, I mean, Brian Danielson, how long's he been in AEW now, would you say? A year?
Yeah, a bit more, maybe exactly the same amount of time as Adam Cole.
Yeah. I mean,
where's Adam Cole?
Where's Kyle O'Reilly?
Even Bobby Fish is a little bit more relevant.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Time and time and time again, AEW have been handed, you know, at the time Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole left WWE, they were headlining NXT pay-per-views and having slobber knocker, no holes barred fucking matches there, tearing the fucking roof off the place, right?
Yeah.
Slamming each other through the ramp, smashing the shit out of each other with chains, all sorts, right? They've gone to AEW and people are going to go, oh, yeah, but they've been injured and all this kind of thing. Like, yeah, but they weren't.
Yes, to a point they have been injured, but there's also a point where they're probably just collecting.
You've took the words right out of my mouth. They are rinsing Tony Khan for money. You can't tell me that Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole couldn't go back to NXT tomorrow and the roof would fucking pop off that. You know, Bron Breakker, obviously,
Adam Cole could turn up at the Royal Rumble and the place would go nuts.
Yes.
You know, Kyle O'Reilly probably not so much.
I don't know, man. Kyle O'Reilly's got his fans as well. And, you know, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly were playing off each other. You know, it's weird because they were kicking the shit out of each other in WWE, and then literally a month after that, they're turning up together in AEW, like on the same team. It's weird. Kayfabe don't exist in AEW. It's not a thing.
I am, and this is something that happened in WCW. And people, you know, Tony Khan loathes the comparison, absolutely despises it. But we're going to keep making it because people in WCW were happy to be injured and sit at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were getting paid.
Yep.
Which is similar, if not the same, in AEW. People are getting injured and staying home. There's no rush. There's no incentive. There's no rush to get back.
But there's no discipline as well. There's no... Tony Khan is a pussyhole, yeah? There's sounds
a soundbite.
There's a soundbite. Tony Khan is a pussyhole, right? You've got, and this is consistently happening, bro. And it goes to, it was only becoming more apparent at the all-out media scrum how much of a pussyhole he actually is, okay? But it's been apparent for people, those whom have eyes to see, that it's been a consistent thing. He has been... Wrestlers are taking liberties with him constantly. Look what Thunder Rosa did to him, right?
Getting at home. as well.
Yeah, Thunder Rosa took the complete fucking piss out of Tony Khan. She tried it with Conan, and he stripped her of the fucking title and said, "Nah, bollocks." Yeah, that happened recently, bruv. Did you see this?
No.
So something happened with she like no showed or said she weren't gonna perform or do so. Something happened, yeah. But it's probably
not the first time we've heard something about Thunder Rosa. It's
not. But the thing is, Conan defended her, right? Conan defended her to a point and said, "Oh, we don't nah." Recently, he's just come out and just said, "Nah, she was supposed to do something. Something didn't happen that way. She no longer has the title. They put it up, and someone else has now got it. And this is it, I think, in AAA.
AAA, yeah. They did the same. He took the mixed title off of Sammy and Ty.
But that
as well.
again, because they I think they no showed or something happened, and he came out and said, no, she was demanding to have her own stylist. She was demanding this and that. They would demand it. So he said, nah, bollocks, I'm not fucking having it. Took the titles off them. Yeah. So the same thing has happened with that.
Conan's got the balls to
again, but that's what when you're running a wrestling company. All right, it brings me back to this. What like in wrestling terms, this movie is fucking great. It's Kayfabe, the movie, right? And it's like the guy who's running the thing is like, don't fucking wrestlers will take the piss and they'll walk all over you if you let them, right? And Tony Khan is just a walking meme, bruv. People are just consistently mocking him and taking the piss out of him and just, not disrespecting him, bruv. They're disrespecting him. He should be saying to him, right, I'm the fucking man right here. Yeah, I am the one paying all your goddamn wages. You will fuck. He should really, whatever you want to say about the CM Punk situation, whether that was the catalyst, what he was saying in the scrum to piss off the EVPs, and then that whatever. But you saw him sitting there like a fucking wet leaf. He should have just said, "Come on, Phil, bruv. Come on, man. What are you doing to me, bruv? Just eat your cakes and shut up." But he's just a pussy. He does not have the minerals, as we say. He ain't got the minerals to run a sturdy ship, because he doesn't exude that quality of like you don't want to fuck with Tony. Don't piss him off, bruv. He's no Bill Watts. Yeah?
No, he's definitely not Bill Watts.
Do you know what I mean? He's no Bill Watts, bruv. He doesn't command respect in that dressing room. As Cornette says, Tony Khan in a dressing room full of wrestlers, be whistling "Stranger in Paradise" or whatever
in Paradise,
he says.
Yeah.
So Tony Khan is literally like a boy among men, and he's literally having the advantage taken of him. I slyly think that what William Regal done to him is a prime example. It's like, you've gone in there. I mean, let's speculate how much money William Regal was paid for that year. £1 million, £2 million.
To not be a part of any creative processes, to just be there.
To just fuck about, bruv. To just fuck around. To apparently, Brian Pillman Jr. said that Regal and Danielson would have little training sessions in the ring where they'd be there showing a few guys but a lot of the people didn't want to know. They didn't want to know.
But they're all so great at wrestling. Why
that's the thing. They didn't want. So Regal, although he didn't have any part of the creative process, he was still there saying, "Look, I'm William fucking Regal, mate. If you want
it's
to
criminal that people have ducked any training session involving Danielson and Regal."
I mean, bro, say me and you are working in a wrestling company like AEW, young upstart company, you got a few you would literally just be anything you could get, you'll be soaking it up, bruv. Soaking it up.
Same thing though love him or hate him, CM Punk, them not listening to him.
FTR, Dax Harwood said something about that on his podcast, and people haven't liked it.
Oh yeah, Dave and Brian got upset. Oh no,
they haven't liked it because he was telling the truth. He's got no reason to lie.
Yeah, and
has he?
Again, it's like I said, love him or hate him, CM Punk. You got to listen to the man's been to the top.
Yeah.
No matter how long he was there or how he got there, if he's got the slightest piece of information that can help you in your journey get to the top or get close to that top, you got to take it on board. You can't be like, oh no, I'll do it my own way. Hangman Page. Yeah. You can't just, Hangman Page has not been to the top, I'm afraid. AEW champion does not mean the top. And that same goes for Maxwell and Moxley and all them guys. Until AEW is the market leader in sports entertainment or wrestling, you have not been to the top if you are their champion. It is the WWE. For a time, it was WCW.
Yeah.
The NWA, all of that stuff. Not this version of the NWA.
Yeah.
Good Lord, no. But yeah, you haven't been to the top of the mountain. Just, you're not the king of the mountain. You're not any of it. Like even Jeff Jarrett, I can sit here and say this, he's not been to the top. Yes, he was champion 4 times or whatever in WCW, but that's because Russo booked that shit. And WCW was dead in the water by then. As much as I love WCW, it was dying its death by this point. And, winning Impact Championship after Impact Championship, it doesn't matter. Like,
when you're booking.
Yeah. You can be
the
the king of the mountain.
It is
sweet Lord, man.
I know, bro. It's a lot. You know what I mean?
You've got to take the advice, even if 98% of it sounds like bullshit. There will be something in there that you go, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I can take that.
Yeah,
but no, they sort of done him a little bit dirty on that.
They have done him dirty. But again, this is Tony Khan should have turned around to him and said, look, this is fucking CM Punk, bro. He's done more in this business, whether you want to, whatever metrics you want to go by, Kenny Omega and the Bucks, yeah?
Kenny's not been to the top.
No.
As much as they want to talk about it. Kenny, the new IWGP US champion. Sorry for the spoiler. He's not been to the top.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay's not been to the top. None of them have been to the top of the mountain. I mean, you could say that New Japan was probably at one point the most popular wrestling company in the world. It might well have been in that early 90s phase.
Yeah.
So you could say Great Muta, Masa Chono, Fujinami, Inoki have been to the top.
Yeah.
You could say that.
Yeah.
But you can't with a straight face say that any of those guys who are AEW world champion have been to the top. And that includes Maxwell. I know that might hurt a little bit, but
I mean it does, but it doesn't mean that it's wrong. Do you get what I mean? Like you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
To mute that.
No, it's fine. It does hurt a little bit because Maxwell.
He's the guy. He's
the guy right now. But again, Maxwell worked with CM Punk when Punk was in there, and they worked fucking fantastically together. Well. That was a great story. It's.
But they're few and far between on that show.
Oh yeah.
So, you can sit and have a brilliant story with amazing promos from Maxwell in particular, or Eddie Kingston can cut a hell of a promo.
Yeah.
But once the bell rings, man, Eddie's done.
Yeah.
I love Eddie Kingston's promos.
Yeah.
If you could just sit there and have him cut promos all the time, great. But then that makes him a manager. Eddie Kingston has his eyes on the prize. He has designs on being at the top. They've stuck Miro and left him at home.
Mate, bruv, that is another thing. You've got all these guys that were promised. Look, you will
Miro's
not.
Miro's probably been closer to the top than anyone else.
Absolutely, man came in a tank.
I think he did actually come in.
Yeah,
the tank.
man turned up in a fucking tank.
No. I think he came in the tank.
Oh right.
He gave her one in there. Yeah, I think that was a story. Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Fair play, bruv. You know what I mean? He got his turret out. You know, like Miro again. It's these guys that will probably said, "Oh, we're not going to do you like WWE. We'll use you properly." And all the AEW marks are go, "Oh yeah, they come to AEW, they get used properly." Is Danielson getting used properly?
Is he the number one contender now, or is it still
Yeah.
Ricky Starks? I don't know.
Yeah, but again, you know, this shit. Miro, is he getting used properly? You know, come on, man, come on. You know, Ruby Riot, she getting used properly?
No, they people like Miro and that they got shifted aside for the new toys for Keith Lee, Swerve.
I mean,
all of
I
that
don't
stuff.
like Keith Lee. I'm not a fan. You know, he needs. You know, they need the guys like Keith Lee need the infrastructure of the WWE. I think just to keep them fresh because
To be successful as
yeah,
successful as they can be. Yes, he's
yeah,
probably
absolutely. They need that. They will struggle in AEW, and they AEW will continue to struggle to get people at the pinnacle of their game because they don't have the infrastructure. They don't have the booking know-how. They don't have the creative team to do it.
Come on, give me a good one. Give me a good one. What was
Two
great
words,
for you?
fam. Two
Okay.
words. Logan Paul, fam.
Wow, Logan Paul. I was not expecting that.
2 words. Outstanding. Outstanding stuff from him.
What did he have? 2 matches? 3 matches?
He had 2 matches. One with he's had 3. Has he had 3 matches?
He had one with the Miz.
One with the Miz. Roman Reigns.
yeah.
2 matches.
Yeah, he had one with Roman. Oh,
But
no,
bro,
was it 3?
I want to say 3, but I think it might be 2.
I think it could be 3 because of the tag match.
Yes.
The tag match with the Mysterios, where he, got some ridiculous heat by standing on top and giving it some of that shoulder, that Eddie shit. Yeah, man, that was good. His match with Roman was
3 matches. Yeah. So it was the 2 singles matches and the tag team match.
Yeah. Fair play. Right.
Logan Paul for me has been outstanding this year. Anything I've seen of him, he's got a natural swagger and he's got a natural way.
His promos are a bit, they need work.
Yeah, fine.
They need work to be that level. I get it.
Absolutely. But when he steps in them ropes, he gives it all he's got.
Natural, yeah.
And you can tell. Think about this, bruv. All right? Compare him to Jade Cargill, right? You can see the work that Logan Paul has clearly put in that ring. You can see it by the way he works, by the way he
agility
moves.
And ability, yeah.
Agility, ability, but he's put himself out there and he said, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fucking do it properly.
And that must be a mindset because he clearly has that sort of process where he wants to be the best and getting a shot in a match with Roman on a main event of a pay-per-view or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Premium live event.
You got to bring your A game.
He brought it.
Yeah.
He fucking brought. And bro, his knee popped.
It did. Yeah.
Halfway through the match, and he still carried on going, bruv. The guy,
he gets it.
You can see he's loving what he's doing, bruv. He's loving, but there's no way. Like Logan Paul is just, if you want to coin a fucking early 2000s phrase, man's winning, man's winning. Everything he touches turns to gold. You got old age pensioners shoving kids out the way to buy Prime in Aldi, fam. You know what I mean? Am I lying, bro? I've seen videos of old people dashing utes out the way to grab bottles of Prime drink.
Yeah, I've only ever tried the blue one. It's not that nice.
Bruv, how does next man's granddad know about Logan Paul and KSI, right? Because marketing, fam. Because, Logan Paul is winning. He's a successful person in whatever he does, yeah, because he's got that mindset of I will do this and I will strive to be the best. There was no way on earth Logan Paul was ever going to go to AEW. Okay? There was no way on earth. If he wanted to be a wrestler and he wanted to do it, there was only one place he was ever going to go.
You go to the market leader. You go to the big cheese.
I've still got a question, right? This is a question for 2023, right? Where did Shaq go after he went into that ambulance, fam?
Back to the commercials, I'd imagine.
You know what I mean? Like,
you ever watch some American TV for half hour, you'll see Shaq in at least 2 different commercials.
How can you have, like AEW, how can you have Shaquille O'Neal on your TV show, yeah, and drop the ball so massively with it?
I don't even think that was in 2022.
No, it weren't. But I'm just saying, like, we're going back even further.
If we're dropping balls, we're talking Anthony Ogogo, we're talking all of that shit. Like,
this is consistent.
we shouldn't dwell on the consistent, consistent shit.
So there's my good one. There's one of my good ones. Logan Paul,
that is a good. I wasn't expecting that. To be fair, that was a good one.
He's had a hell of a year, and anything he's touched has turned to gold, and that is because he's put the work in. He's been diligent in his training. His respect for the business. He's had Vince McMahon on his podcast. He's had fucking Triple H on his podcast. Oh no, Pat McAfee had Vince McMahon on, didn't he? But Logan Paul had Triple H on, and you could tell he loves it. He fucking loves it.
I've got one more good one for us.
Go for it, baby.
I didn't think in our wrestling lifetime fandom, whatever, we would see something as good as Sheamus and Gunther live.
Oh.
And that was a fucking masterpiece.
Oh, yes.
People can say what they want. People can, this, that, and the other. It was a brutal war, and I loved every minute of it. I was sitting next to you. You loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
It's as Sheamus was at his banger.
It was a banger. It was, it is, and to be in England to watch a strong style match.
We were in Wales.
Wow, Britain. Yeah, we were in Wales. Sorry, the Welsh fans. Sorry. That I'm going to get fucking caned for that one by the sorry about that, boyos. That to have that in the UK, let's say, to have that strong style match in the UK, and Gunther, he butted his parsnips in the UK. Do you know what I mean? He was NXT UK. He
was the king of NXT UK for a long time,
long time. And we respect him. That match was an absolute slobber knocker.
It's a force, an absolute forceful match. Right. That and the long 2 count on Drew, with Roman Solo pulling the ref out, stuff like that. It was what a cracking night. And that is something it sticks long in the memory because we had a fantastic weekend.
It was great.
Wrestling chaos.
I had no voice. Actually, quiet. People took that as like, oh, Chris just weren't fucking on it. But now, bro, I literally couldn't speak.
His voice was gone. He was trying his best to squeak out some words, but it weren't happening. I was
trying to do the OOOs to fucking Seth Rollins song as well, man. I didn't have it in me, fam. I was trying.
That was just and I'll say this now because there's a chance there's an Irish person listening. Let's bring a big event to Ireland. Fuck it.
Oh mate, I mean that would be fair. I mean, and to be fair,
we'll chuck our hoodies on. We'll join you.
The Irish love their wrestling, bruv. The Irish love their wrestling. They really do.
I'm pandering like fuck here to the Irish, but we'll come over as well.
Mate,
we'll do a live show.
We'll do a live show in Ireland just for the fucking crack.
Exactly.
I mean? Literally for the crack. We'll love it. I mean that was another. I mean, we kind of knew we were gonna, as soon as it was announced that WWE were coming to the UK. It wasn't like
We
He's
didn't
like,
fuck about.
we're going, bro. Like, you know, Matty, I swear he booked the fucking.
He booked the Airbnb before the announcement. Like, I booked the tickets the day before, like on the pre-sale. It was, yeah. We were all over that, and you know, we can squeeze another one in for sure. Like the minute, I mean, are we going to Craven Cottage or what?
Mate, you know what? Yeah, again, if AEW come to the UK, chances are we're gonna go and watch it.
Yeah,
okay, of course we are. Yeah, don't be silly to think that we're not gonna go. But we again, we've said this from day one, man, and we keep going back to it.
Oh,
we
man,
want
we will be the strangers in the room for sure if we head to an AEW show, because we don't look at it with the glasses and the old beer goggles.
No, we haven't got the rose tinted spectacles on that everybody else has. That key demographic
Feels a lot like the Roddy Piper in They Live.
Yeah.
But
they put the glasses on and they just see, stars. And we're sitting there just looking, just going, the fuck is this shit, bro?
Something else to add, and it is a good one. We saw the Danger Man, the absolute stone cold killer that is Minoru Suzuki live. We got that experience in something you get to do before he eventually calls it a day. And yeah,
I've got to tell the story. Can I tell the story?
Go for it.
Bro, right, listeners, this is an exclusive that you're getting, right? And Nando's UK, we're putting you on blast, okay? We are putting you on blast, aren't we? Nando's.
I suppose.
We're putting you on blast, man, because I'm not being funny. When who was with him? It was the other Japanese fella.
Shooter, was it?
I'm thinking Shota Umino, but it wasn't.
No.
But anyway, we went to go and watch a wrestling.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Yota Tsuji. Yeah.
Yeah, Yota Tsuji, yeah. So we went to see a wrestling show in our local theatre.
Doorstep wrestling, baby.
Doorstep wrestling, fam. And when you can go on your doorstep and watch Ricky Knight Jr. and, we've seen Will Ospreay around here. We've seen
Aussie Open, Leo Rush.
Yeah, Leo Rush. Yeah.
He had a bad cut this morning in Japan. He it's like first opening match of the show. Sorry, this is New Japan again.
Yeah.
And he gets some deep sort of smack to the face. He's got he posted on his Twitter, he's got like a cut here, a cut on his nose, on his lip, above his eye. Like, it looked pretty grim. It's not a blade job.
No,
it's obviously some sort of accident, and
hard way.
Yeah, poor fucker, man. Like, that's
fucking nuts.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
That's all right. So doorstep wrestling. We've seen Leo Rush. We got photos with him. We grabbed those. So, myself, JB, and the man Matty Diamond D, aka Cactus Matt. We've gone to watch this wrestling show. I was umming and ahhing about buying a t-shirt. Minoru Suzuki's on the show against, and I'll tell you what, who was
Dan Maloney.
Dan Maloney. Shout out to Dan Maloney. I want him on the show in 2023. We need him on the show. We've seen him twice now, Dan Maloney, live recently. And he's fucking fantastic. He's fucking mustard, right? Looks the fucking business and everything. So, Minoru Suzuki versus Dan Maloney. Great match. End of the show. One of the, slaps and chops and all that, right? So, I buy a Minoru Suzuki t-shirt and I go, fuck it. You know what I mean? It's not every day you get to see him, whatever, right? So, we're hungry. We're getting to the end of the wrestling show. We're getting a little bit hungry.
We get a cheeky one.
We get a little fucking cheeky Nando's, right? So we go to our local Nando's after the show. We're sitting in there, eating our food and that, just about to finish. I'm there with my t-shirt in a lovely little plastic bag, not yet been placed upon myself. Who do we see walking in the door? Yota Tsuji, Minoru Suzuki, and a couple of other wrestlers, few other wrestlers and that, right? So we're like, fucking hell. We're eating, aren't we? And we're like, fucking hell, it's them. So it says on the website that Nando's, this is where we're putting you on blast, Nando's UK, right?
Well, there's another part to it as well. Yeah, go on.
There is another part to it, but I'll allow him in it, yeah?
No. I mean, with the Nando's.
Oh, yeah.
They serve the coppers afterwards.
Did they really?
Yeah, we saw that.
Cheeky
Yeah.
cunts. I did not know. I fucking forgot about that. Right.
Scoundrels.
But so we're sitting there eating. The Nando's says online that what time did it say? It shuts at like 10:30 or something like that, or
Maybe
11,
something.
Yeah, 11 or whatever, right? So it's about 20 past 10, something like that, 10:15 or whatever. In walks fucking Minoru Suzuki, Yota Tsuji, the wrestlers. They've had their matches. They're fucking battered, bruised, tired, hungry, right? So they come walking into the Nando's. The geezer goes, "No, we're closing. The kitchen's shutting in 10 minutes." And the guy showing him on his phone, the guy who's taken Suzuki and that there's like, no. Look, it says on here, like 11 o'clock, you shut. Like, what's going on? So he's like, no, we close early because the kitchen and all this shit, and they're fucking fuming, right?
Dickhead
things. That's a dickhead moves, yeah? So fucking, we finish our food and that, and I'm like, I'm in an R in whether to go and speak to him to...
He's pissed.
He's not
having it.
He worked Minoru Suzuki, son. I apologize now for even approaching you, bruv, because I walked up to him and I said, Mr. Suzuki. And literally, without even half a second, he just turned around and went, no. He didn't even miss a beat, yeah? Literally, I just walked straight up to him and said, Mr. Suzuki. No. That was literally how it went.
He was not having a bar of it. He
weren't having a bar of it.
So, we blame Nando's.
And we 100% blame Nando's, because if that man would have got his Arthur chicken, mango and lime, macho peas, spicy rice, yeah? If he would have been had his belly full, there's no way he would have treated one of his fans in that manner. But he was obviously hungry, tired, yeah? He wanted... I allow him, do you know what I mean? Because, Nando's, it's your fucking fault, right? For
serving the coppers afterwards.
And to serve police after that, after turning away Japan's finest, you're on your ass. That's what it is. You're on your ass, mate. So Nando's UK, we will be tagging you when this video goes up. Might even tweet about this because it's something that I've completely forgotten about until this moment.
He feels very strongly about this.
Bruv, honestly, Vex fan. So that's what happened when we went to go and have a Nando's after we watched our doorstep wrestling of the world's finest. And it just wasn't a good look, bruv, by Nando's, really. Where did they go and get food after?
That is a good question.
Guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not knocking Five Guys, please. Like,
and didn't we see another couple of the lads, wrestlers?
Yes.
It was that Luke
Jacobs and Leon Slater were there as well.
That's the one. Yeah. Luke Jacobs and Leon Slater, yeah. And we said, don't go Nando's, boys, then, because they were walking, wasn't it? It was like,
right in the direction.
Yeah, don't go Nando's, boys. Then they're not serving people. They're like, no, we're not going Nando's. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was fucking a down point of 2022. Seeing Minoru Suzuki getting treated in that way, shocking.
So. Let's talk 23.
Yeah.
What are you hoping for? I know the Rumble is like literally around the corner now, but go beyond the Rumble. WrestleMania will be up. There'll be another 4 pay-per-views for AEW. What are you thinking? What are you expecting? Is The Rock in your plans?
You know what? Yes, he is. But the only way I can see Reigns getting knocked off his perch is if the head of the table turns up. The tribal chief turns up.
Yes and no. I still think there might be a design for Cody to nick one.
I'm
And-
not sure the plan would be for Cody to beat Reigns though.
And there's also a small enough matter. I'm just looking it up now. Just give me 1 second. Because WWE's February pay-per-view, which is Elimination Chamber, 18th of Feb, is in Montreal. Now, there are two guys from Montreal who could easily challenge Roman at the Chamber. You've got Kevin Owens, who's already done it, and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Now, how crazy will that 2 count be that Sami Zayn gets like that almost 3, that near fall on Roman?
I mean,
in Montreal, in the hometown of these fucking
it will go
crazy
wild.
guys. Like, yeah,
yeah.
So it's a question I posed actually to some friends of ours on their show, Wrestling on the Rocks with Ref Marsh and his special guest on the show, Mr. TW Takes himself. Shout out to you guys. It's our new year.
You know what? 2023, we've got to get Bishop on again, haven't we?
Yeah, of course. There will be guests, and not to whore ourselves out too much, but we're happy to join on other shows, whether it's a tag team or a singles compares. I'd like to see you on another show, Chris. I'd like to see you join another team for an afternoon. And
I don't know if they're ready, brother. I mean, we went on. We've been on another show.
Good Cop, Bad Cop's been fun. Like, don't get me wrong. We've had a lot of fun with them guys. Like,
yeah,
they I went on there on my own. Like, maybe it's time for you to go on there as well, and start saying some wildly inappropriate things to make them laugh.
Oh man, and yeah, I'm up for that. I'm always up for that. But yeah, I mean, we 2023 going forward. I mean, it's in wrestling terms, like you say, this whole Sami Zayn thing
story's got to meet its climax.
Yeah, but they're doing it well though. Again, bruv, think about how long this whole thing has been going on. In AEW, this would have been over in a month. Long-term storytelling, my fucking nutsack. Do you know what I mean? That's long-term storytelling, isn't it? Really?
It's it's very long-term storytelling. Not this bit like where they call it long-term storytelling because they had a match in 2015.
No, we're talking about
in another company. Yeah. Like, don't fall for that. If anyone says, if some dickhead like Sidgwick, and I'm naming him because he's a fucking idiot.
Yes, bruv.
Guy writes these ridiculous love letters to Tony Khan on social media. It is embarrassing. The guy needs to stop. Calls himself a journalist. Have you ever read one of his books? No, neither have I.
Bruv, I commented on one of his tweets.
I think his book is called, what was it? The Meteoric Rise of AEW. Where did you see this? Apart from your dreams?
His wet dreams.
Frightening. Some of the nonsense they come out with.
He said something, right? He said something about it was literally gobbledygook, fam. It was literally gobbledygook about
one of his Shakespearean love letters. Yeah,
it was unreal, and I literally just commented that made literally 0 sense. What the fuck? I used the line from The Big Lebowski. I was like, "What on earth are you blathering about?" Like, it literally was like, what are you blathering about, bro? That makes 0 sense. You're using long words to make yourself sound intelligent.
Yeah,
when really you're a fucking moron.
Fraudulent.
He is fucking fraud, fam.
Yeah. Don't get taken in by someone saying they saw them have a conversation in 2014 in Ring of Honor. So this is long-term storytelling. It's not. It's luck. So much luck over, pure judgment. It's unreal.
Sidgwick, anyway, man's a Findus man, believe. Yeah, I mean, the long-term storytelling that we're talking about.
Sammy, in the bloodline.
Yeah, or trying to get into the bloodline, when it was, in the beginnings of it, and he was just saying, look, just want to.
Jay not having a bar of it, Jimmy welcoming him,
Yeah,
Solo just sort of standing around.
yeah,
I still think there's something not quite with Solo. I think, when Roman's around, his hand goes up, he acknowledges his tribal chief. When Roman's not around, stands there with his arms folded, whilst everyone else puts their finger up.
yeah.
I think Solo could be the one that is pushed into the spot.
I mean, it would make
Street
sense.
champ, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
He came in so strong as well at Clash at the Castle.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great, man. It was seeing him come out and that was just
perfect.
It was perfect. It was nice,
Yeah.
It was, even the crowd chants at Roman were just crazy. Like,
it was carnage, yeah. Like,
it was absolute carnage at the castle.
Crowd singing at Bailey, all of that stuff. Like,
man,
her playing to it, and
it was great. I'm gonna have to watch it again, man. It's like, like you say, it's so easy to kind of, we remember being there, but to actually
I have to shout out Matt again. He got me the Blu-ray for Christmas.
Did he?
So yeah, I might have to stick it on at some point.
Yes, bro.
Have a little watch.
I'll tell you what I'm actually impressed with. My missus, cost of living crisis and all this shit that's going on in the UK right now. It's a thing, right? So we looked at, we have Virgin TV or whatever, and we don't watch none of hardly any of the shit on there or whatever, right? So we're thinking, all right, well, fucking at some point we'll cancel that and we'll just have internet. But what are we going to watch on TV, right? So we watch Netflix and watch, my missus bought an Amazon Fire Stick thing, right? But there's so much wrestling on there, it's unreal.
What, Amazon?
Yeah, on just on the Fire Stick, the channels that you can download. So obviously I downloaded the network app on there. But then you've got like Wrestling 24/7, you've got ICP channel, you've got like New Japan.
Well, Amazon had like Bushido and all that, like Way of the Warrior, like some of that old like
bro.
UWFI shit. Like, and I was so enjoying that. But I think they've taken it off now. But like watching Gary Albright suplex the shit out of some poor Japanese guy.
It's mad, bro. The amount of wrestling that is on channels on the Fire Stick that you can download and just literally they're streaming wrestling 24/7, and there's like I was watching what was it like I was watching a pay-per-view from like a few years back from it wasn't oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue. One of these promotions that is kind of up there with the heart, not GCW, possibly
ICW, something like that.
Maybe. No, I think it was GCW, Game Changer, or okay. One of these ones, and it was like, a hardcore match on a pay-per-view. But there's AAA on there, and I was going to watch Triple Mania from this year, and it had like English commentary as well, and I just started that. So there's a lot of wrestling on there that I'm going to start, just watching it like on my telly rather than just on my computer if I can.
Or on your phone, or something like that.
So my next mission, the next thing I'm going to watch on my telly is AAA Triple Mania. The first match was like a mask, like a women's wrestling, all of them masked, and the final two then have a match. Oh, excuse me. The final two then have a match. Loser takes their mask off or whatever. Okay. That's the first match that is on the thing, and I started watching it, but my boy was here the other day and he wanted me to come and play Minecraft, so I had to come and play Minecraft.
It's what it is, man.
It was in the Christmas holidays, you know what I mean? He was just jamming around the house. He was like, Dad, Dad. I was like, all right, cool, bruv, let's do that. And but yeah, my next mission is to watch a lot more wrestling on that Amazon Fire Stick. So that was a bonus for me this year as well to find out. I mean, I knew there was a lot of cool wrestling on Amazon Prime, but it was like not hard to find, but it's like you've got to kind of have a little look for
Yeah,
it.
you got to hit the
gotta dig for
keywords
it.
and all that. Yeah, like
Yeah, but with that, it's kind of like there's quite a few channels that I've downloaded on there that I can skip through, and they've got, like I say, they've just got pay. It's like basically every channel is like a Netflix, but for wrestling, for different types of wrestling. It's fucking mad. Loads on there. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, make
A
sure
lot
you
of
dig
wrestling.
deep into your Amazon apps and see what you can find, because
Yes.
I most recently I watched 2 of the MTV WCW specials, something that I need to talk to you about separately after this, because they are beyond ridiculous.
Not the when a separate thing from when MTV actually had wrestling, their own wrestling channel.
No. This is before that. This is the MTV and WCW's collaboration, where the commentary team on one of the shows was Jimmy Hart, Kid Rock, and Raven.
Great.
Yeah, like that's all I need to tell you at this point, so you can go and watch it. Like, I think they had another one. Like, they had another one a little bit later on, which had a commentary team of, I think it was Larry Zbyszko, maybe Jimmy Hart, and another musician. But it's not as, I don't think it was as good as the beach one. But yeah, it's mental, like the nonsense that WCW was churning out. And this was like, I've got to say 98, 99.
Yeah, because when a little bit later than that, MTV had their own wrestling
Society X.
Wrestling Society X. And like it was way before its time and it was mental, but
yeah,
they had some great people on there, man. It was great stuff.
Maybe one day we'll have to find the DVDs and
I've got
a little look at that. Have you got them?
I've got Wrestling Society X DVDs. Yes, bruv. I've got them.
So whilst we're planning out the next like half of our year, why don't we say thank you to those that have stuck around, have listened to us chat absolute nonsense for the last hour and a bit. We thank you. Ireland, we thank you, of course. You're our core audience now. Keep listening, keep sticking around. We're gonna hit up some reviews whenever we can.
Mm-hmm.
Things are always moving and shaking in our world, so we don't always have a day to pin down and do stuff, but we will try and get on as much as we can, because I don't know about you, but seeing that how, good Lord, the Irish keep us relevant for some reason, it makes me want to make more and keep pushing it and until they get sick of us.
It makes me want to wear my Robbie Keane Tottenham shirt, mate. You know what I mean?
It's all right. I think Tottenham won now, so I think.
I think we actually smashed the shit out of them. I think we win in about 4-0, mate.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we won 4-0. Yeah, so it's great. And Sonny scored. Oh, good. Anyway, enough football.
Yeah. Before we go, Chris, this is your bit. Remind them where they can find us.
We are, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, you can see our faces. We are Chat Grapple and Cheap Pops podcast on YouTube. We are also on Twitter and Instagram at Chat Grapple Pops, which you could blatantly see emblazoned all over the screen right now. You can catch us on all popular podcast apps. So we are on Podbean, Spotify, Deezer, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts. You can catch us everywhere, mate. Everywhere where you can listen to a podcast, we are on that platform, literally. So give us some likes. What do they do on the Apple one? They can give us a like or a
5-star reviews. Yes.
No, we want 7 stars. We want 7 stars like an Omega match.
Give us some melts of stars.
Give us some
beyond
melts of stars.
5.
That's right.
Yeah, feel free to hit a review, give us the stars, if you want. You don't have to. But if you are watching on YouTube, hit subscribe. Do it. course you want to do it.
Of course, touch our bells, bruv.
Slap
Bro,
them
how
bells.
am I just noticing that you've got a Shroot Farms t-shirt on? How am I just noticing that? You fucking legend. Yeah, please touch our bells. They are throbbing and waiting for your finger. So just tap our bell. It's just a little bit on. You don't even have to get notifications.
No,
Obviously, if you don't have notifications, you won't know when we upload our next episodes. But you can just touch it, just subscribe. It really helps the channel out. It helps us out. We are over 1K subscribers. We're approaching 1.2K maybe now. I think we're over.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think we're over it yet, but 1.12, I think it is.
1.13K. So we
There you
are approaching 1.2K subscribers, which is fantastic. Just fucking come on. We're on it. 2023. We're going to try and be doing some more bits and bobs for y'all. We're going to try and get on some other shows and that maybe as well then.
Other shows, some more interviews.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to everyone that's listened in 2022. Thank you to all those, groups that help us out whenever we need a little nudge. Thank you to a shout out to anyone that's been a part of it and listened. So for now, we say see you soon. I'm JB. I said it before, Mr. No Hats, No Trainers, the Raz Prince, the best Chris in all of wrestling podcasts, Mr. Chris Dredd. We will see you soon. Take care, everyone.
Peace.